look in my hoard. He's just got all these glinting little pieces of crap.
See that vinyl? Came from Germany.
Wow.
Yeah, from a dragon, dude.
Don't touch it.
Pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, we're going to use that anyway, so.
We'll call the episode Pixie Pussy.
I dare you. No,
I want to call
don't.
it Monkey Knockout Gas.
Monkey knockout gas. That's pretty good. Monkey knockout gas.
Monkey Knockout Gas?
That guy's great. I wish he would show up in more things. And I wish they hadn't. I mean, I get it. Last Man on Earth wasn't gonna. You know what they were gonna do in the next season afterwards? Is they were like, we were gonna take the next like 3 episodes or 2 episodes and kill all the people that came out of the bunker from the disease. Like nobody was going to survive from the disease.
It wasn't going to be a big paradigm shift, I don't think, of like, well, we actually live in a community now.
They specifically said they were like it's going to be like these guys are going to be scary for like a little while, and then all of them are going to die from the disease, and you're going to be left with the regular cast again. Like happens every single time. Those are your guys, and anyone else who gets introduced, no matter how long they're there, was going to just get killed in some way.
The thing is, I kind of wish they would shift the cast, that would have shift the cast around like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like the Asian pilot that they introduced was like interesting. It made sense for him to fly away and leave.
Sure.
But like you add...
He died. He didn't fly away and leave. He crashed.
Oh, that's right.
He crashed and died.
That's right. It's been a while since I've watched it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, have the balls to like, not Todd, but someone on a Todd level.
Yeah.
Like if January Jones had literally just like gone off the reservation and disappeared, that would have been a really interesting choice.
Yeah, I mean, and also you have the option to bring them back because you don't know what the fuck happened. It's like what they did with the guy who Phil liked. He made the jeans. I can't remember what his name was, but he did it like, you know what I mean? Like, I made you jeans. It's like really weird. He's the guy who was with Phil's brother, Jason Sudeikis, on the you know what I'm talking about.
Fucker, who was it? What actor was it?
He was on Sons of Anarchy, I think. I don't. You don't remember that guy from the show? He's the one who went all crazy.
I literally do not remember that.
Jason Sudeikis is up on the thing.
Yeah.
He's up on the space station. He crashes to Earth. He crashes into
the fat bearded guy in the hazmat suit.
Yes.
Mark Boone Jr.
Thank you. Yeah, of course you know his fucking name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Boone Jr.
That's
that
the one.
Guy. Oh, Marky Booney. What else has he been in?
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's what tipped you off.
I think he's an Islamophobe in the Batman movies. Because he's like crooked cop. And he's like taking money out of the till. And the guy's like, hey, I have kids to feed. And he's like, what? They don't like falafel?
Yep. And then he gets tied up because it's Batman Begins.
Yes.
And he's at the docks doing something. He's working his cop muscle.
Flass was his name.
That's a great name.
Yep. That's a good name for a fat guy whose dick doesn't work. Yeah. Flass.
See, that's a real, like, I like him. And then you look at like what they did in the newer Batman versus Superman, or was it? No, it was in Justice League, where Batman's fighting that guy on the rooftop. I'm using you as bait. And he like throws him over the side. That guy, who just seems a little bit more like the stereotypical like '90s Batman criminal.
Yeah.
Whereas Mr. Boone Jr. sort of seemed like a more gritty. And again, that's the difference. That's Christopher Nolan. You know.
Yeah. He's not afraid to hang a diabetic cop over the side of the roof as a warning to lesser criminals.
They told me not to let my blood pool past my ankles.
Corruption will not be tolerated, and neither will insulin.
Jesus.
Yep, that's my take on that. You know what I hope is good?
His feet are swelling. Sorry.
Christ.
I got to cut him down now.
You know what I think I'm hoping they do a good job with is the new Batman. The Batman.
Oh, this is the one with
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. He's got to do really well with it.
I think he will. I just think he's one of these weird, you talk about a 90s throwback. He has that same like pale, washed out, kind of lo-fi intensity to him. You know what I mean?
I think you're right in the sense that if it was like Robert Pattinson guest stars on 90210, nobody would have batted an eye. You know, that would have been totally normal for everybody if you had seen him do like those. Like he's next to that. What's his name? He passed away recently. Luke
Perry.
Yeah, Luke Perry. Like you see him kind of right next to that kind of level.
On a very special episode, Robert Pattinson guest stars as a guy with lupus
on Dawson's Creek.
Luke Perry how to enjoy life. being young and rich and white and affluent and
Him alongside George Clooney on that. What was the doctor show he was on?
ER.
ER. It was ER. How did I not remember ER? But
that wasn't Luke Perry.
No, I know. I said George Clooney.
But you said he was on it with George Clooney. Who are you talking about?
No, I'm saying Robert Pattinson right on there with George Clooney.
Oh, yeah, he'd be tremendous.
That's what I'm saying. You got a little too much glitter on you, Robert. They set him on ER as his character from Twilight. Everyone hates him. He's the most hated character on ER, mostly because he didn't make any sense.
You got to get Willem Dafoe as his character from The Lighthouse. You're fond of a triple bypass, ain't you?
You need to get just Willem Dafoe in everything. If there was one actor that I would be fine, if he was in literally every movie from now until the end of eternity, it might be Willem Dafoe.
I tend to agree, except for the fact that I'm kind of an iconoclast when it comes to that stuff. Like when too many people are making the joke, like Christopher Walken is so weird, it doesn't become as fun to have him be the go-to.
I get that, but name a movie that you would not enjoy seeing Willem Dafoe in.
That's the thing, is I agree in principle because I can't,
But I get it. If he was in everything, maybe he would lose his zeal.
I'm sick of The Rock.
Well, yeah.
That guy needs to go away. He's just in everything, and he's not bringing anything new to the table.
Well, he is. He's one of those typecast people. He's the action star that can be the family man.
He's a ripped astrophysicist who also competed in the Titan games.
Yeah. He can be in comedy. He can be in drama. He can be in everything in between. He can do what you want. He's a multifaceted actor that never has to do anything other than what he does in everything else. Which, honestly, when you think about it, I give him credit. Because he's never had to change, and somehow they're like, yeah, we'll squeeze a character that's exactly your range into this movie. And they just kind of push him in there.
And he really kind of is the first, computer-generated actor because he doesn't have time to have a life. He literally, they just pack him in ice between shoots and they
just pick up all of his weight equipment and drag it with him across the country.
Yes, they literally do. Oh, it's 3 a.m., Rock. Time to get up and grind.
Yeah, that's pretty wild to think about. Like
he wakes up at 3 a.m. every day.
Every day.
Every single day to get on a fucking stair stepper.
I wonder at what point that just kind of starts to suck.
Probably the first day. If I had to guess.
You get used to it after a while, right? What time is he going to bed at, though? That's what I want to know.
He's probably getting his nunites real early.
Because on the one hand, he's on Ballers, and on the other hand, he's going to bed at 9:30.
Listen, if you're going to be on Ballers, you kind of got to live the gimmick.
Secretly, The Rock hasn't seen a night past 10:30 since 2012.
He does himself a little mug of Sleepy Time tea and TRT. And
he's in his big rock jammies.
Yep. Little striped cap on.
Sitting there, getting ready to watch Moana again with his daughter. Oh, it's so nice. I assume he's a family man. But, But
that's what I'm saying. He's not out fucking guys or fucking chicks, whatever he wants to do.
Whichever. We're cool with either way, Rock.
Because that was a big thing in the wrestling community. Everyone knows The Rock is actually gay.
Oh, really? Was it?
Yeah, it's just jealous wrestlers who are he's really good at what he does. We should start a homophobic rumor about him.
Yeah, that'll hurt his image. Everyone's like, no one cares anymore, man.
Yeah.
Identity politics in wrestling is 5 years behind everyone else, apparently.
I would actually get really excited about The Rock again if he did come out as gay. That would re-interest me in The Rock.
Yeah? That would be the thing that changes you? Well, that shows how shallow you are.
No, I
don't care at all about his identity. He'd be as straight as an arrow or gay as a rainbow. And either way, I think he's meh.
He's infinitely more interesting as a gay man.
I guess I'd look at him and be like, how have you kept that under wraps this whole time? More than anything. Because, you look at someone like John Travolta, and you're like, you're doing a terrible job, John. Do what The Rock is doing. Look, no one knew The Rock was gay.
Yeah, we literally watched John Travolta stuff meth up a twink's ass at the Pride Parade.
Apparently, when everyone found out that Liberace was gay, they were like, what?
Yeah, Betty White was apparently friends with Liberace. She's like, I had no idea.
Which apparently was shocking.
I was like, shut up, you old bat. You knew. If you were that good of friends with him, you knew.
So it'd probably be the reveal on that level for our generation. Because it's not going to be John Travolta is what I'm saying. Everyone knows John Travolta is gay.
We've seen that one coming for a while.
And nobody cares, John. Nobody cares. He's one of our listeners. Secret. Oh, my God.
You guys accept me for who I am. Oh, my God.
For some reason, it's one of the only podcasts I can get on my plane.
Oh, my God.
It'd be weird if that's how that worked.
Our podcast is just broadcasting to an AM radio station somehow.
Skimbo Lounge, the #1 podcast of John Travolta's plane.
There's just Korean crab fishermen who listen to this show and we have no idea what they're saying, but the noises are comforting.
They're just sitting there smoking cigarettes on some dinghy.
Just listening to us be like, my penis.
Out in the middle of the sea.
Very good.
Then pirates show up.
Yep.
Very sad. Very sad stuff.
Yeah. Well, our thoughts and prayers are with our Korean fishermen listeners out there and The Rock. It's okay. If you want to come out on the show, we are happy to. Everybody can't keep bringing their business to Oprah. She's starting to monopolize this.
Oprah is fine at giving interviews. Like, no one's going to argue. Like, it's all she ever has done. She's great at it. So I get, like, the rationale. Like, you get the best. That's Oprah. She can sit down there and really bring it out, and you sit there and go, she's got more money than God, though. So how does she relate? Unless it's like, I get why she did the interview with royalty, you know, because
she is royalty.
They're both richer than God. They've got so much fucking money. You look at Oprah and you're like, I wonder what it's like to have your own TV network. It's crazy. And so when she sits down with the people who own the most land in the world, basically, you know.
I don't think those two own shit anymore.
Oh, yeah, but from the family, I guess.
They tasted it.
I look at it.
He grew up in it.
She
She
got
got a taste.
That's true. But they're still obscene. Like, you're still taken care of. I don't know how anyone else relates to that, but I think the thing that gets a little obnoxious in those are like, oh, it's just so hard. And she's like, I know, I can understand. And like, what's difficult to you people?
They really should have let us do that interview.
Yeah.
So when
Is
you
it
were
hard?
on Suits, Meghan Markle, like, who was the biggest asshole on the set? I'm curious. Like, who'd you hate the most in the cast?
You guys don't care at all about the relationship we have with the rest of the royal family, do you? Oh, no.
Wait, what?
No. Not really. I just want to know if royalty like also gets runny shits after bad Chinese food. Do you know what bad Chinese food tastes like? I guess we should start there.
I've never met a Chinese person. Well, there it is.
There it is, everyone. You heard first.
Meghan Markle never met a Chinese person. You can take that to the bank. You know what that reminds me of, dude?
What?
I cannot wait to see what the celebrities do for their anti-Asian hate PSA because one's coming down the pipeline.
I'm hoping another song.
I think it is, but dude, they're going to do what they always do,
You're
and it's going to be
Imagine
something
again?
they think is really heartwarming, but is just deeply
Tone deaf.
racist. They're going to do like a slowed down ballad version of Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting or something like that to raise awareness.
I'm surprised we haven't already seen it. I don't know. Wherever it's going to be, it'll explode on Reddit first. So
It just every time, like, we know everyone's out there struggling without a crust of bread to eat while their fucking maid drops grapes in their mouth.
as
Like-
long as I don't have to hear any more stories about how COVID was super hard for them as they had to like hunker down next to their pools in their mansions, I don't care what the fuck.
Well,
they
that's
say.
just it. This is the pivot. It is a horrible thing that has happened to Asian people in this country, and they're not going to miss out on that.
Yeah, you think they're just ready to set up for the pity party?
They're ready to be like, I'm here and I'm woke.
I think that's the thing that's kind of weird about celebrities. Sometimes you sit there and go, all right, how can we make this about us?
Exactly.
That's such a weird...
It almost makes you wish that like a suicide cult would have some success so that all the celebrities were like, we're going to raise awareness for suicide cults and just kill themselves.
Well, it's such a weird discussion to have when you think about it, because you sit there and go, okay, so when something bad happens to a demographic of people, who is the group that you want to sit there and raise awareness? Like, I get celebrities have this like weird pull of being able to get seen by so many eyes, you know what I mean? So having them say something in certain ways can be an empowering thing. On the other hand, they're also the people who are the least affected by it because of the fact that we shower these people with tons of fucking wealth. So part of it comes across as, again, very self-serving, completely half-hearted, and totally kind of sometimes missing the point. Like, we have it really, really hard today as Asian Americans struggling with things like this. And you're like,
Yeah.
I said from the balcony of my 4-story mansion
I
in
screamed
Malibu.
at my DoorDash delivery man when my dumplings got cold,
Yeah.
but I'm the biggest ally the Asian community has.
Yeah.
I'm Will Ferrell.
Yeah, I just like...
But that's the thing is you're correct that they've got a platform, but what you should do with that is have fucking Rosie O'Donnell or whoever the fuck, Chrissy Teigen, somebody fucking stand up and be like, hi, I'm celebrity. Now we're going to hear from the Asian celebrities who are going to share experiences of how they were affected by this on the come up. And we're going to get these names and voices in front of you because they're the only ones who should be able to tell you how to feel because they're actually Asian.
Well, even more so, I would take it a step farther and have someone like that be like, hey, I'm so-and-so, and I'm using my voice to give to the voice of this victim. Let's hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
And then they go, hey, blah, and they either get information from that person to hear what that person has to say, or they put them in front of their fucking Instagram. It's really not that hard.
But like asking
pretty easy to do.
Asking Brie Larson what it's like to be a woman of color in the film industry is just like, what? They had a black interviewer ask her that. I was like, wait a minute. Are you fucking absolutely kidding me right now?
What?
In the lead up to some awards show, there was a black red carpet interviewer who asked Brie Larson
like,
what it's like to be
crazier.
a woman in the film industry. And Brie Larson just starts going off, and then she starts talking
Brie
about
Larson
like,
is a brand.
and it's especially hard for women of color. And it's like, you know who you should ask that about that? The person interviewing you.
Yeah.
She probably knows.
I don't know, man. And again, it's the kind of thing where you sit there and go, I don't know how. Like, I kind of feel for celebrities in the one way where there's no way that they can't stick their foots in their mouths now. I'd be like, look, this guy got, like, they're the Hemsworths. They got famous for playing Thor and attractive, muscly dudes who take their shirts off. Yeah. Why are you asking them about politics and world events? They get put in front of a camera for being pretty. It's not that hard to act if you get to that stage when you're sitting, like, unless they're asking you to cry, you know? It's like, it's an action movie, or it's a fucking feel-good comedy, or it's a rom-com. Oh, look, he's sitting there kissing Natalie Portman. Oh, it makes me feel feelings. Great. It's not that fucking hard. Why are you asking them about the crisis in the Congo and asking their opinions on that? Why? No one gives a shit.
I love how they haven't even done anything yet, and we're just shitting all over them preemptively.
I'm shitting all over them. It's preemptively for this, but it's also for every other time when, I'm using my acceptance speech at the Academy Awards to raise awareness for climate change.
For dairy farming. That was Joaquin Phoenix's.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, great. I would much rather one of you guys say the brave thing that gets you blacklisted from the Academy Awards, which is, this is stupid. Nobody, this is a small group of people justifying insecure people that they're good enough. That's really all it is. And I get it. You win an Academy Award, your movie makes a ton more money.
It's a marketing ploy at this point.
You make a ton more money if you're an Academy Award-winning actor. That's going to secure your career for a long time. Some people don't fucking need it until it finally happens for them, like Leo DiCaprio. Oh, he wanted it so bad, and he suffered and froze to death in The Revenant, and they gave it to him. Oh, my God, thank you.
He wiped his blood all over Kerry Washington.
Yep, didn't even get shit for it.
Oh, man, I'd kick his fucking ass. I'd let him get the takeout, and then I would kick his fucking
But
ass.
I mean, I guess if you're going to get blood rubbed in the face of anyone, you know Leo's safe, I guess. You know, if Leo DiCaprio got the HIV, everybody would know about it.
Well, yeah, he would have someone following him around at all times, just like on the hour, sticking him and being like, well, nope, you're still clear.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Leo, you're good.
Yeah.
See you in an hour. Poof. Try not to fuck anybody before then.
So, that's, I still, there's no excuse for that. That was crazy.
Oh my God, that was so gross.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, objectively great take, and like
incredible. Her
shock registers as authentic because it is, just like when the guitar got shattered in The Hateful Eight. Coincidentally, these Tarantino films, it's a genuinely shocking moment and a good take, but I would fucking kick him in the nuts if I was Kerry Washington.
Yeah, it seems he gets away with a lot of stuff. It was like the whole Uma Thurman controversy when she got jacked up filming Kill Bill.
Oh yeah, he ripped her shoulder out of the fucking socket during a car stunt.
She got wicked spinal damage or something. Something really bad happened to her during that. Didn't she have to go to the hospital afterwards?
I really don't know. To be honest,
I remember it being pretty bad and him being pretty dismissive about it, and her having it took him a long time to apologize. Let's say, it was one of those things.
Tarantino was an asshole.
What a shocker! Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess the point of all that is just to say, sometimes I don't get the celebrity worship. Also, listen to our podcast, please, and agree with the things that we say.
Yeah, now that being said, we hate celebrities, but if you choose to turn us into celebrities, we'll walk that back. We'll never apologize.
I'll use my platform to be the most self-hating celebrity ever. Why do you like me? I don't understand.
You people are sheep.
I swear I'll Gigi Allen out really hard. We get 100,000 listens. Tune in to our YouTube where every week I'll eat a stick of butter till I'm dead. And just hey guys, hit the subscribe button below. And it's just me smashing. Not even clarified butter, a hard stick of frozen butter.
Oh, right out of the freezer.
Yeah, just chomping that shit until I get it down. Really unpleasant stuff.
Yeah. You're just having a butter popsicle.
Costco sized. Just...
They gotta have 36 more of these.
Painful enough where they'll put it on Pornhub.
You would be a stellar fat guy.
Yeah.
If it were somehow possible. I don't think it's possible.
Today on the Skimbo Lounge, I would just, if I get fatter, I want to also like swing hard into conservatism too, so I can
You
fill.
have to.
I'll fill the Rush Limbaugh void.
They're the only people that'll have you.
People think that perhaps I have, after he died, his soul came into my body, but I'm here to parrot the words of Rush Limbaugh and tell you that the Liberocrats are coming for your guns. And just sponsored today by Land O'Lakes Butter. Land O'Lakes Butter, watch me cram it down my throat.
Also sponsored by diabetes medication.
It all just comes to me cramming butter down my throat. And again, if the Pornhub thing goes well, maybe up my butt. You never know. Yeah.
Butter, both ends buttered.
That's a long-term
Buttered on both
topic for
sides.
some people that I know is how much, if you think about it, how much butter do you think you could fit up your ass?
Much
you know?
butter do you think you could fit up your ass? All right, well, this opens up.
Because it gets soft after a while, but also like, you know.
But if you melted it and funneled it up your ass?
Yeah, but see, there's the both. Sometimes are we talking hard stick or are we talking clarified butter?
That's an important question.
Because clarified, you could get way more butter up your ass that way.
Yeah.
And also it would be way more unpleasant afterwards.
Oh my God, you just got hot popcorn
Yeah,
movie theater butter
also,
in your ass.
it would just cake the inside of everything. You know what I mean?
You'd
It would
never
just
get it
stick.
out.
Yeah, no, you would shit for at least a solid week
if you
afterwards.
get that on a shirt, you have to throw that shirt away. It'll never not be stained and it'll never not smell.
You'd probably have the first poo would be so unpleasant, and then
It'd
after that,
fly right out of you.
everything that you ate after that would be nice and slick for a while.
You gotta bulletproof your
You
toilet.
finally get that one difficult poo like 2 weeks later. You're like, I guess the butter's finally out of me, but the great experiment is known.
It's good to feel like this again. Ah!
Yeah. So that's what I talk about to people when I play video games sometimes.
That'd be tremendous. But Rory, it's much more funny if you're hugely fat when that happens.
Well, that's what makes you fat.
Right.
Because you absorb some of the fat and everything. Like they say, like, what is it? You can shotgun a beer in your ass and do weird things like that. First off, I don't understand what happens afterwards. Like, where does it go? Do you poo immediately after that? Or, like, I've never thought about the mechanics of afterwards. Like, everybody talks about, like, in the locker room, they're like, oh, man, anal sex. Oh, I know so-and-so does. I sit there and go, the mechanics of that confuse the shit out of me. Because it seems like a wholly unpleasant process. Like, if I'm sleeping with a girl and there's poo on my penis, eventually I'm kind of feeling like I'm not in the mood anymore.
Well,
you know? I feel like there's a certain level of preparation that has to happen.
There is. The trick is to not be a monster and participate in the preparation.
Yeah, see, there you go. But then there's also the questions of the afterwards. And I sit there and I look at the afterwards of something like butt chugging a beer, and I go, what is the afterwards? Why don't I just drink it?
True. The most expedient method, but you could put it up your ass, so why not try?
It's like we know that guy who, when he was, I think they were in Costa Rica, who decided to take a shot of vodka through his eyeball.
Oh, yeah.
And it's something you can do.
Uh-huh.
And I sat there and was like, why would you do that? He goes, it got me really fucked up. And I went, I bet it did. But
sure it
perhaps
did.
I have an alternative solution. Perhaps 1 to 2 or maybe even 3 shots of vodka via your mouth. It would equally fuck you up.
It's Occam's razor.
I get it. It's a weird world, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Just trying to make the episode weird. How do you top last week?
I kind of want to bring something up
I'm
from
talking about
last week.
ass butter and stuff. Go on.
Yeah, chugging ass butter. Would have been a better road to go down because inevitably there was some backlash.
Oh, was there?
Oh, yeah. From the person you probably know exactly who it is. I can't say on the show.
That's fine.
But you're going to know who it is as soon as I start talking.
I heard positive stuff from people.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me about that after.
It was just they went, oh, man, that's crazy. But this episode is fantastic. Like, it wasn't even like, they were just like, they thoroughly enjoyed the episode. Nothing super general, them being like, oh, my God. And they were just like, did that actually happen? I'm like, we talked about it.
It was on the show. Draw your own conclusions.
Yeah.
We made it up. Not this time.
Not this time. So, yeah, you go on. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I had positive reactions as well. It was a well-received episode. It's done very well.
But we knew some people might have some thoughts.
But there's always one shithead that's
I
got
have some shithead. Well, now we've lost a listener.
Well, I honestly don't think this even came from this listener. I think this listener was told secondhand.
By proxy.
Yes, I think this was a proxy condemnation for me.
Oh, well, if they didn't give us a listen, then they can go fuck themselves.
A Skimbo Lounge official fuck you has been issued.
Put some butter up your ass.
Sponsored by Skimbo Lounge Butter.
Land O'Lakes. They make it. We wrap it. We put our name on it.
We basically just steal butter.
Just
Could run drugs, we run butter.
We're gonna need to get a shot and put it on our Instagram of us just hoarding butter at a Hannaford's
Just
or
with
something.
ski masks on.
We'll have face masks on anyways. It's
That's
the
true.
only time this will seem normal.
The buttery bandits.
Did we pay for this?
The bad boys of butter are back.
All right, keep going.
You like
Go
that
on.
alliteration?
The bad boys of butter.
The bad boys of butter are back. I don't know. That's a good
Orbeez.
episode title too.
I think that's pretty. People are gonna be like, "What?" The connotations of this really make me uncomfortable.
And they're like, we don't.
You guys are perverts. I'm never getting a date ever again in my life. And it's okay, because when COVID-21 hits, I'm telling you, we're all going to end up living in caves.
Yep. You're going to be glad you put all that butter up your ass so you can live off your fat stores.
Yeah, sleep like a bear after that. Didn't even know. Don't roll over and crush your child.
You hibernate into the Chinese regime where they've turned us into a puppet state.
Yeah, might as well sleep through it. Might as well sleep through it,
Pretty
America.
good.
Those of us in America. The rest of you will have to fight in the Coal Wars.
Sorry, listeners in
I'm sorry.
Ireland.
I didn't mean Coal Wars. I meant Cola Wars. Go on.
Ah, yes.
So we got some notes about last week's episode.
I was accused of making light of a man's death. That man has a family.
Oh.
And for you to send a letter to this woman and to turn her into a bit, grossly offensive in the context of this man had a family. And you're rubbing it in. You're making your fun jokes. But a man died. That was the main criticism of what we perpetrated last episode.
You and I, one summer, were in a play called Ah Wilderness, which was written by who? I can't remember.
Eugene O'Neill.
Eugene O'Neill.
Noted alcoholic Eugene O'Neill.
Now, sometimes when we were doing this play, 30 people would show up, or they would fill the place. A lot of people. And then sometimes one person would show up, and everyone would vote, not excluding us because we were excluding us because we were children at the time, as they would say, late teens. And we would do the show anyways. And during these performances, you and I would have a little bit of fun with the script. And we would ad-lib and kind of make it more enjoyable for us. And who knows if the person in the audience knew Eugene O'Neill's play. But they got themselves a different show, at least for a couple of scenes. Now, backstage, we had another person in the cast who did not appreciate these ad-libs, this improv we would do sometimes. I can understand it. But she began to yell at us for this because we were being disrespectful to the artist's work. We were being disrespectful to the audience. We were being disrespectful to her.
Which we were.
Yes, we were. You're absolutely right.
It was awesome.
Yeah. The point being is she took it on behalf of herself to talk about what she thought the writer would have wanted us to do. And my response is sort of the same thing to this critic. If one of those people who was personally involved wishes to come up to us and air their grievances over what we've done, then they're free to do so. If it offends you, it offends you. But don't pretend like you're personally harmed by the death of this person or by us writing to this person and making light of a dark situation.
Yeah, and in no way was I like making fun of Travis Alexander. I was poking a caged animal, basically, with Jodi Arias. But so was Travis Alexander. Because
Go on, I can't stop you now.
No, the train's out of the station now, buddy.
Yep.
He was a Mormon, and he knew he was never, ever, ever going to marry a non-Mormon. But he sure liked getting neck from Jodi Arias. So he led her on, and her crazy just cascaded, and then she stabbed him 43 times. Now, was she justified in stabbing him? I would say if she stabbed him once and he lived, it's probably fine. But because he died, it's a problem.
Boy, we
she
really
went
just-
a little too far. She's a monster, but she's the monster that society made her. So shame on you, person who fucking told me that I was a bad person for doing the Jodi bit.
Boy, that's a real what's he wearing kind of argument there, isn't it? We just doubled down.
I
didn't we,
am not
pretty hard
on
in this
trial
episode?
here.
we just stepped right back in it. Yeah, no, I mean, you're allowed to be upset. It happened.
Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it
Yeah,
happened.
don't cry for me, Argentina. I don't know if that's the same thing.
We're mixing metaphors, but
what
you get it.
What were we talking about?
Oh, some bitch in prison.
God. Yeah, who was it who said that comedy was made to bring humor to painful things?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who it was, but that's all.
But at what point until this episode did I mention the nature of the murder? I probably did mention she stabbed a guy a bunch of times. In
Yeah,
fact, I think I did.
You did several times. Yeah, that happened.
But in the letter, what about that did I say?
Keep the faith. I think might be where you might have lost some people.
That was my personal connection with her, letting her know, hey, God's got your back, because he lets horrible people get away with it all the time.
I mean, if Catholics are getting into heaven,
The fucking Pope is covering up molestation, so
it's cool, bro. And like St. Peter gives him like an elbow dab because again, COVID, got to be safe.
yeah.
Get in there, bitch. Who's up next? Abortion? Get out.
No, I don't think not this
time.
Fuck you, Jonathan Frakes.
Frakes.
He just punts him to hell.
If there's art that you could do, it's Jonathan Frakes getting kicked by St. Peter down to hell from the pearly
Kicked
gates.
into a pit of hell.
That's going to take you a little bit of work, but you just draw it kind of like kind of slapdash, like The Far Side, like those old comics.
Yeah, I'll just rip off Gary Larson.
Yeah, do some Gary Larson. Thank you. Sounds perfect. I guess what we're saying is we really care when people get upset. Yeah. Especially if they didn't listen.
Dude, if you're mad at me, the best thing you could do is catfish me with a letter back from her.
What are they going to do? Stab me 42 times? Maybe that was in poor taste.
Seriously, though, I really, like, the funniest thing anyone could do is write me a catfish letter back from Jodi Arias.
They'd have
so
to
that
really
I
put
get
some
all
effort into
excited.
that.
Yeah. But they could do it. That's better vengeance than just bitching me out, because now you're material for the show.
I don't know. I think we can tell the difference between a genuine and fake letter from Jodi Arias.
This is an authentic Jodi.
I'm pretty sure we've studied her enough for this bit, like we always do. Do you remember those 4 episodes we did on the Good Reverend? Let's be honest. We do our research. We know Jodi Arias' patterns.
We have our bona fides. Okay.
Yeah, you want to fool one. You want to pull one over in the Skimbo Lounge. You better wake up an hour earlier than 10 a.m. because that's when I wake up.
I've Googled Jodi Arias bikini enough times to know everything about her now.
How many moles? That tells you a lot about a speech pattern.
To be fair, the algorithm feeds you that one. You type in Jodi Arias, and the first thing that comes up is bikini.
Well, if that tells you anything about the state of America, or at least about the state of search engines.
Yeah, I'm not the only one with a problem here.
I'm pretty sure they're not searching that from Russia. It's some local people. I mean, no different. Look at the number of people who came out to write love letters to what's his name? God.
I mean, a ton of them. Richard Ramirez being one. I mean,
Richard Ramirez was
Satan,
scary.
And women were like, "Here's my underwear,
He's
Richard."
so cute.
Yeah.
And
I like that you have no tafers.
Here's the scary part. Between you and them, they were serious.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even write her a love letter. I wrote her a fucking gag gift.
Jodi Arias writes you back. The first thing we're both going to go is, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh, my God. There'll be that moment where I'm like, holy shit, it happened. And then I'm going to get the pit in my stomach and be like,
holy
now
shit,
you got
she's
to read
got
this.
My address.
Connection established.
Choke over.
And she is a monster, and she's now your pen pal.
Yep.
What do you do?
Dearest Jodi, it has been a fortnight since I wrote you last.
I think of you in many a long night in the field. And it's just me masturbating in a cornfield at night in the freezing cold.
Yeah. By candlelight for some reason. I think of you as I watch the peaches grow. The harvest.
And all I'm watching is a dog taking a shit. Just thoughtfully writing in a notebook.
August will come soon, and I think of you at the lake.
I can smell it in the air. Just industrial runoff.
She just writes back, Dear Alex, I got stabbed yesterday. Please send money for commissary.
I now understand how badly I hurt Travis when I did it 42 times to him.
It is what it is. I don't know. I don't see how we're making light of the murder. I think we're just maybe in some way people take it that way. You're entitled to your opinion. I guess.
Look, I made a bit out of like, hey, he kind of had it coming, but
yes, you did.
That's the point. Is that those are actual facts. I mean, he was a Mormon who was never going to marry her, and I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm just saying there were ingredients in this brew.
Go on.
That were combustible. She wasn't stable, and he fucked with her, and he died, and that's horrible, and it's not a justification.
So
it's just a fact.
I don't know. Sounds pretty not okay, Koch. I don't know.
He's a cheerleader at Camp Crystal Lake with no underwear on, bending down to get Gatorade out of the Yeti cooler. Like, he kind of taunted her a little bit. He was like, I'm going to marry this girl, and everyone was like, no, you're going to marry a Mormon. You're a practicing, somewhat devout Mormon, and just, having premarital sex, which is huge. So you're already going to hell. So go whole hog and marry her.
I've liked some gals before. Okay. And they've decided at one point or another that I just wasn't the right person for them. And never at any point was my response, "Why don't you love me, you stupid bitch?" And then I stabbed them. Not even once. Maybe I should have just started slow and scribbled on them with a permanent marker. Worked my way up. That reminds me one time when I was in college and these people, I swear to God, they must have been on drugs. This is one time, random story, weird tangent. And I was, it was my sophomore year, and I'm in my town, the townhouse where we lived. And somebody came in, and it was this girl that knew people who I lived with. And her and a bunch of her friends assaulted me with a marker, permanent markers. And they wrote all over me and my expensive ski jacket, because I skied still back then. It was $100 and something, and it was all covered in fucking permanent marker. I was like, what the fuck is the matter with you? And they wrote all over our walls, and then they ran out.
Nice.
I never confronted any of them on it. I never talked to them about it. I was just like, those people were on drugs.
Oh, you have access to these people?
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure I could probably reach out years later and be like, "Hey, do you remember 12 years ago when you wrote all over my spider jacket?" They'd be like, "No." Acid and cocaine seems like what was involved here. Some crazy fucking mix thereof.
One of them's Banksy, and your jacket's just insanely valuable now.
Somebody tries to put it on display, and it destroys itself. Jesus Christ! How long have I been living with explosives in that jacket? That's beautiful. That's a beautiful dream.
Yeah, spider jacket recall.
That's what I'm just going to tell people from now on. But that's what I was reminded of.
That's nice.
From Jodi Arias to that time. I think everybody experiences bad stuff in their life, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Who can gauge getting marker written on you, murder?
Getting stabbed 42 times.
Life is a beautiful cornucopia. We are going to get canceled.
So complicated.
We are going to get canceled.
Yeah.
My dearest Jodi, it has been a fortnight.
You were the demise of my podcast. You're all I have now.
I think we need to start writing to people again as if we're in the Civil War.
I'm
on
100% behind that.
I got to work because public school did nothing for my writing, for my scripture.
For your actual handwriting?
For my handwriting.
Penmanship?
Listen, you can't email somebody that kind of stuff. You got to get a parchment. You got to scrawl that shit. Mm-hmm. No lines on it to
quill and
guide
ink.
Your hand. Yes.
Smudges everywhere.
You got to figure out who you're going to write to. Again, if Jodi writes us back, maybe next time you scrawl some things down for her.
I'll handwrite the next one. Take that to the next level. This is third base in prison correspondence. He wrote in cursive.
Yeah. You got to write like you're on a plantation in Georgia.
My dearest Jodi,
we
it's
have been
powerful
at
hot.
General Lee will be all right.
Words from you would be like a cool drink of lemonade on the porch on a hot day.
Halfway
Don't
through.
get stabbed in the commissary.
Yeah, you just start referring to her as Munitia.
Yeah. Wasn't that the name of one of the girls in Wild Wild West?
Yes. One of Lovelace's.
It was such a weird thing. The guy.
Branagh is fucking half a man in a fucking spider, giant mechanical spider.
With this army of brainwashed hookers, basically.
Yeah. General Brass McGrath. He's got the phonograph horn in his ear.
Just he tilts it down and a bunch of shit comes out of it.
Yeah, dude.
Kevin Kline as the barmaid with the huge fake boobies.
Yep.
I mean, that movie really had it all.
Yeah. And back in the day, the first thing half of America said was, "Jim West wasn't a black man." Great. Fantastic thing to take away from this, guys. That's
all
wonderful.
of New Jersey was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. We're not watching this.
Oh, sorry.
It's just I'm telling you, man. It's a weird. Hollywood, am I right?
Nah, they're just the best.
This should have been one of the Hemsworths.
They probably will now.
They're going to remake it.
Army Hammer. Ooh, I don't know, though. He might be going down.
Oh, yeah?
He is being investigated for sex crimes.
He's getting Me Too'd?
He is getting apparently what's coming to him because I guess he has tried to eat a lot of girls.
Eat?
He's got that weird cannibalism thing. I'll say he allegedly tried to eat people.
Oh, he's one of those people.
Yeah, he's one of those people that's
those cannibal people that we hear so much about so often.
Sexy cannibals.
Who would be the weirdest person? who's the weirdest person in Hollywood where you'd be like, wow, I didn't expect that person to get. I mean, I guess it was Bill Cosby. It was the person
honestly.
I was like, wow, I did not expect Bill Cosby to get Me Too'd, like for him to be the guy. When you heard all about it, it wasn't like I was like, I disbelieve this so much as to discount the victims. But it was like, holy shit, kids say the darndest things is a rapist?
Well, it fucks with you. And like Kevin Spacey fucked with me, man. I was like, oh my God, he's a fucking chicken hawk. He's like a gay predator.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like,
Well,
because I always knew he was gay, and I was like...
Yeah, but to know and be like, wow, that really puts a different spin on American Beauty. Forever.
It does.
I can't watch
really
it.
Does.
I tried watching it again, like not recently, but after all the shit, and I was like, there's something really fucking weird about this movie now,
everything.
man.
His relationship with Wes Bentley's character, where they're getting high and watching the animator. His relationship with the daughter's friend, like...
Well,
oh,
I can't separate.
Man.
I can't separate like the reality of it either. Like,
No,
they're
not
on a
anymore.
Set, they're sitting there. They're actors. Something happened after this take. How many other takes were there? What was going on set? What was their dynamic? What was he doing with all these people? Like, I just sit there and go, how do you sit here and watch a movie knowing all of the context and focus and keep like?
But imagine being like...
It's wild.
Imagine being, I guess, like it. You can't say imagine being Mina Suvari in that movie because Kevin Spacey was again a gay predator.
Yes.
So, like, I guess she was theoretically never in danger of his advances, right?
She kind of looks like a dude. No, I'm sorry. Go on.
Well, okay.
Kidding.
But like,
Just kidding.
imagine being her, and then this
Yeah.
all comes out, and you're like, oh my
Wow.
God. I like ate fried chicken and fucking house salad
Look at the
with a fucking monster.
How would you feel if you were a friend of his? Like you've done dinners with him. You might have heard like whispers about it, but like maybe you didn't know.
Kevin likes him young.
I'd like to argue, like I'm always one of those people, like how could you not know? Like if you knew these people for years, but like let's go ahead and give someone the benefits doubt. Like the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that was you, and you're sitting there, and your friends like, how would you fucking react to
Some
that?
people are psychopaths though, and they can hide it very well from people.
Yeah. Bill Cosby was an old man when they finally put him away. How long did it took Hannibal Buress of all people saying something about it? It's such a crazy thing to think. Like it was. I think what really started rolling the ball was like he did that, and like Cosby started like trying to change his image, and Hannibal Buress did the joke, and the internet took it and ran with it. They're like, "What is he talking about?" And they uncovered so much shit, and the public's eye just went poof and opened up, and the whole thing took off. And I sit there and go, "Damn!" Like you get that, and you look at like the Epstein of it all, and you look at all these things, and I sit there and go, "How many people are we sitting on? Like, are we sitting on an ocean of creepy sexual predators?"
Well, the answer is
positions?
yes. The answer is yes. What's even weirder is
Who
like,
are they?
who's amongst us? You know what I mean?
Oh, even
Like
I
imagine,
know what you mean.
imagine there's four people you've known your entire, or four of you, you've all known each other your entire lives. Which one of you is statistically the monster?
Well, it's scary to say. Like I've known people who ended up being those monsters. People personally, people who ended up being murderers. We've known murderers. We've like I don't know if you met like, but I can think of one example of a guy I know who ended up being a child molester. And I sit there and I go, it's a weird thing to rationalize. On the one point, you're sitting there and you remember the time when like you're sitting there having a conversation with the person. Yeah, I had no idea.
That's the crazy, like BTK. You live next door to BTK for 15 years and never know anything.
Yep.
Then it comes out and you're like, oh my God.
It's all the story of that person who's like, yep, I met that person, and for some reason they passed me up, and you just spilled water all over yourself. That was very funny.
God.
But it's like you see that person, you go, for some, Gam Gam was what met the so and so killer, and she was out there on the side of the road one day, and he just drove off for some reason.
My dad and his brothers put that in my grandmother's obituary. I think she's lying her ass off, but apparently she told them their entire lives that she narrowly escaped being murdered by Albert Fish.
Which one was he?
He was a horrible child murderer, pedophile, cannibal.
That sounds lovely.
Who had like an abandoned house of horrors, and he would like chain people to the bed frames and like eat pieces of them and like write letters to the police like, the buttocks are succulent.
Yeah.
Which sounds hilarious in the context of like
Until you think about it a little bit
dating
more.
in 2021 as opposed to cannibalism in 1944.
And again, like I feel like I've talked about this before, but like this is the thing about social app dating that scares the fucking hell out of me, especially when like I'm like when I was in the city, like there was something really weird about it. It was like nobody's gonna hear you scream, and some of these weird like. But even scarier in rural Vermont and places like this, where it's like, hey, what do you want to do on a first date? Let's go on a hike. I'm like, I would never date 3. How do you know how patient fucking murderers are?
Yeah.
Like,
I will let you do anal on me before I will go on a hike with you alone.
Like there's all different types of people out there. You got conservatives and Republicans and you got those murderers who will sit there and wait 12 years, like just before they fucking do it again. And you're like, oh well, I've gone out on a date with Terry 5 times, so he seems like a pretty cool dude. And then he invites you hiking and he pushes you off a ledge, and now he's hunting you like it's the most dangerous game. And who would have seen this? I don't know. Maybe I'm distrusting.
I don't know, man. That all sounds pretty good to me if it's the woman throwing me off the mountain.
Yeah, and then
I really
you.
do just want a nice lady to love me so much that she kills me.
Yeah.
I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Well, it makes you feel special because they picked you.
It is. It's nice. I have some value.
Bury me in your grave. Just make sure to do it like I want to be number 3, not number 13.
I want to be
feel as special
footnote in her legend. That's fine.
Yeah.
She killed 7 guys. We can't name any of them.
There's just a messy Polaroid of you on a metal table in an interrogation room 12 years later in like a Law and Order style. Tell us where he is.
Just pantyhose over my head. My feet are bound.
Yeah, she's just sitting there. He's still on oxygen. This swarthy, buxom woman that would have to be to get you to.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. The swarthy, buxom killer has struck again. She lured
she
some.
only gets a certain type of man.
Some pathetic asshole. Yeah. She found him and killed him.
All of the men seem to harbor the same masochistic tendencies.
They were all really stoked that she did this, which admittedly took some of the fun out of it for her.
We saved him from a pit in the dump. His oxygen had 5 minutes left, and he said, just 5 more minutes to us as they pulled him out.
I'm almost there.
Yeah. Said, I don't see what the problem was. She was feeding me nutrients through that IV.
That's all I needed to know that she really cares about me.
Like, we had a really hard time convicting her because nobody wanted to press charges. But, we got her from the state because, again, she did murder a couple of them.
Can you imagine dating someone like that? They just come to visit you in like an underground facility where you're just chained up, probably missing limbs at this point, getting fed your nutrients, but you fight like a normal couple.
Jeez.
She's just like, you think you're the only guy I have chained up in a sex dumpster around this city?
You're just so hurtful. You're just saying that.
You know what hurts? My phantom limb that I have for after you cut off my arm.
Yeah.
But you know what really hurts? You don't respect me.
It's your tone, okay? It's your tone.
I've never met your parents.
Oh, my God. Not this again.
I killed them.
I was trying to do something nice tonight, too. We were going to have mac and cheese balls, but forget it.
I was going to blend them up and put them down your nutrition shunt.
Yeah. But now you're not eating for a week. Oh, you're just saying, that's just your father talking.
She just yanks on a chain, and I'm in like a semi-strangled state.
That means you do care. Oh, God damn it, I can't even torture you.
I love it when we fight.
Oh, God, we make fun. Oh, what a terrible fucking thing.
That's not making fun. I honestly have a halvesy after that. I mean, that sounds awesome.
Well,
Just kidding, Rory.
you've written plays about this sort of thing.
Exactly. Dude, that sucked. I'm so grateful for the people that were in it. They were so game, but it was just I gave them such a shitty script.
Oh my God, I wrote so many shitty scripts in college though that like was written and like read by people in front of other people where I was just like, now I'm like, I'm sorry I subjected you to that.
I was so convinced too. I'm like, this fucking rocks. People are gonna love this, and they're like, what? You had people chained to radiators doing monologues and choking each other and fingering each other. What is this?
Art.
So you get
Art,
it,
madam.
then.
Yeah.
But you felt something. Yeah, revulsion.
But good. That's on the checklist. Revulsion.
That's close to approval in the human brain.
Now, if I can just find a man in the audience with a boner.
3 guys who all look the same raise their hands.
All shamefully looking away.
That's my audience.
Yes.
Yep. Well, hey, incels need a Scorsese too, so I guess I'll do it.
Yeah, great. This guy's saying a lot of what I'm feeling, says 4chan.
Yep.
I just think about that now. Like, that's going to be the future. Ever since I heard about Gina Carano being like, I'm going to do... Who is it that's like funding...
Daily Wire.
Daily Wire is funding a movie for her. I sit there and go, this is going to be like the next... like, because like Scientology's out there making movies. The Mormons are out there making movies. You know, you go to other countries, you've got these really like radical... Bollywood is dangerous, people. But I sit there and I go, it's not gonna be very long before you start seeing these really conservative-minded films starting to pop up. I bet if they start to find success in this, and they start finding people like James Woods stars in The American Citizen,
rape an American tradition,
and it's just all about him, like a local northern man in the Washington woods gets his guns taken away by frivolous liberal legislation, and then the terrorists strike or some fucking thing, and it's him starring as, the one guy who hid some of his guns, and he's just putting them out and saving the rest of them. And look, they've got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in it.
Secret conservative, also gay man.
Yep.
Secret log cabin Republican Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Just him and one too many WWE stars that you're like, well, that kind of makes sense.
All right. Yeah, Chris Jericho gave money to Trump.
Yep. And they're all in it, and it's just you'll just start seeing movies like that.
No, truly, if it becomes a viable release model, they'll crank them out like Seagal cranks out movies. It'll become a cottage industry.
If the WWE movies are profitable in any way, those will be profitable.
They'll be insanely cheap
Stone Cold
to make.
Steve Austin stars as the evil governor.
Said, goddamn, got too many goddamn illegals coming over the wall.
That was pretty good Stone Cold, and I bet he actually believes that too. Allegedly. Got to cover our ground.
Except you've got to understand that the governor in a conservative movie is going to be liberal and evil. So he's going to be opening the border to let the evil
God
illegals
damn, we
in.
got to get more illegals over this wall.
They're going to fight for me in my evil illegal war.
That's how.
There you go. Better.
Just edit those movies. Like,
Goddamn,
wait,
son.
we fucked up. Just change some things in ADR.
He cracks a beer.
Give me a hell yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Just Stone Cold stunning, I don't know, Ted Cruz. That'd be pretty dope. Wow.
His assistant is an evil Muslim man. Oh, no.
A small business owner of Muslim origins. Ben Shapiro faints.
Tommy Lahren starring as the good guy's girlfriend. We got her in because she
can
knows how
only
to handle
do
a gun.
Anal. I'm saving myself for marriage. Loophole.
Yep.
I call it the bun show loophole.
You're so dumb. I love you, baby.
That made 0 sense. I can't wait to fuck.
Yep. So that sounds like we should just start making these movies.
Yeah, why are we letting the
churning them-
conservatives profit off this?
Listen, Daily Wire, we've got your pin. Just start sending them. Send them a movie that's like generated for kids, starring Sam the Eagle. Yeah, just the Muppet people are on board. Jim Henson, they fought us like kicking and screaming, but we sued them a bunch and we got the rights to it. The Koch brothers gave us a ton of money for frivolous lawsuits, and now we own the rights to Sam the Eagle.
Children, do you know the 14 words?
Everything's gonna be fine except our Kermit is blue for legal rights.
They're all just half a bubble off. Yeah. Miss Piggy has tusks.
Miss Piggy is horribly like live action.
just a pig we put a wig on.
Just a
Oh, fuck.
Everyone wants to see a blue Kermit with an M16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, freedom isn't free.
Goddamn, conservatives are so fucking dumb.
I'm getting tired of the. It's gonna get bad, dude. It's gonna get real bad.
Well, it's already bad because the fucking goddamn you liberals, you take the bait every time. Like,
don't get me wrong. I'm starting to like liberalism, man. I just start to get to a point where I'm just like, I think if you support either establishment right now, you've got to look. Trump was fucking terrible. Everybody hated fucking Trump. It's great that Trump is gone. Now you need to be really critical of what the Democrats do. Otherwise, in 4 fucking years, the conservatives are going to roll fucking roughshod over everyone again, and we're going to have another 4 years of a conservative-controlled government.
You will get President Ted Cruz if you're not careful.
All of these swing states and all the states that switched over to the Democratic side in like these wild turnovers are going to flip right back in 4 years if Democrats don't do shit. They're going to sit there and go, well, why do we put our faith in this fucking bullshit? And they're just going to go for whoever.
And just quit stepping in the fucking trap. Like Lauren Boebert, that fucking dumb shit gun nut from Colorado. Mm-hmm. Honestly, kind of hot, I have to say.
That's great.
The gun kind of does make it hotter. She's like Tomb Raider, but stupid.
Stupid Tomb Raider. That's a great game. New for the PS5.
Just a woman in her closet just can't find a way out. Hello? Yeah.
You get stuck on the first puzzle in the game, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's just throw that shit
can't
out.
Complete it. Yeah. But like she so apparently there's this thing where like Biden, the Biden White House fired a bunch of people for past marijuana use?
Yes, they did.
So then Lauren Boebert comes in and is like, oh, well, what about crackhead Hunter Biden?
Yeah. Oh, I've
Which
seen
is
a lot of
not a good argument, but the fucking like liberal commentators on Twitter all come in and are like, listen, it's still a crime federally.
Yeah.
So it's perfectly within the White House's right to ask these people to leave because you have to obey the law. It's a
that's
federal
interesting.
crime.
And here's what I would say. I'd be like, that's very interesting that you guys collectively missed the Trump children's Coke nose for the last 4 years. Are you guys fucking kidding? Look, I just want people to be consistent. I don't give a fuck about Hunter Biden. The first comment I would say to anybody saying that, I go, that's fucking horrible. What position did Biden give his son in government?
He didn't, which is why it's a weak argument from Lauren Boebert. But because it's a weak argument, that's all you have to say is that's a weak argument and it's not the same fucking thing. But instead you have these fucking like Brooklyn fucking Ivy League educated actually types who are like, marijuana is federally criminalized. It's like, wait a minute. People are in jail for life on marijuana offenses for small
non-violent crimes.
And now you're saying you're behind the Biden White House doing what they got to do because it's a federal crime?
Yeah, don't
You're
just
liberals.
follow the
You
fucking
should
line.
be for the legalization of marijuana, at the very least the decriminalization, so we can get these people out of fucking jail.
Yeah. Be critical of your own party. Ignore the fucking shit that the detractor morons are saying because they're just trying to rile up their own base and piss you off.
And you look as stupid as they accuse you of being because now you've taken an anti-marijuana pro-incarceration stance with the conservatives. They're going to look way better despite having a shittier argument.
Yeah, and Joe Biden fell on his walk up to Air Force One
3 times.
Pretty bad. Apparently he's healing from a broken foot. I don't really give a shit about any of that, but watch how for the next couple of months that's all you fucking see as the argument. It's going to be the Sleepy Joe thing again. It's going to be him being infirm, and they're going to show you memes of him falling down the fucking steps.
Well, he called Kamala Harris President Harris, and everyone's like, oh, dementia.
Yeah.
It's like you called the teacher mom once. I told a patient on the phone the other day when I was hanging up, I love you.
I can't ever live that down, can I? Can I?
No, Rory.
It keeps coming up.
I'm going to make you wish you'd shit your pants.
Maybe I didn't. I left it out. But it's just like, it's so fucking ridiculous. Can we just stop electing stupid, shitty old people? Like, I get it. I get it why it had to happen this time, because we weren't going to secure anything without old people voting. The Democrats weren't going to win if they didn't vote for an old person because old people weren't going to vote for a young person. That's what we have. We have a very, very old people controlled government. And shocker, old people stopped retiring early, so they all control the heads of most businesses. So we're kind of fucked as young people unless we hold these assholes to the fire with our votes, and nobody does it.
Long live the gerontocracy.
And everyone wonders, they're like, well, this one guy comes out, like, I'll sit there and go, yeah, this is why politics don't work. And they go, but you gotta fucking do the blah, blah, blah. And it's like, look, you guys all push your support for these assholes, and then when they do the wrong fucking thing, you do all the fucking nothing about it.
Just fighting the battles that don't fucking actually matter.
No, you gotta understand Dr. Seuss books, you see.
It's the linchpin of the whole thing.
And everyone's sitting there talking about that, and nothing. I quit. I fucking quit.
Yeah, I quit too.
I just
no
don't-
more politics on the pod. You guys fucked up.
I just don't care anymore. Everyone's like, well, the world's gonna get worse. I go, yep, I'm just here to watch.
Yep.
Give me my popcorn.
Yep, I'm just Michael Jackson. I mean, I am the gif of Michael Jackson eating popcorn.
I don't need power to make popcorn. You just make a fire and you put some kernels over in a pan with some oil. Oh, it's lovely. And I can get some
You got
butter.
all that butter up your ass?
Yeah, exactly. I got the butter right here. I don't need it to be frozen, even with power. I don't need. It's just I got it. Yep. I got my own storage. Get a little salt on there. See cracked. Oh, lovely.
There you go.
Easy to get salt. Don't need power for salt.
I
Watch
have
the world burn.
salted butter up my
Yeah,
ass.
I just don't like. 4 years are going to come. We're going to switch. There's going to be conservatives again. 4 years after that, blah blah. What might be Trump again? Non-consecutive terms. Wouldn't that be a great one to write in the books? Twice impeached president serves 2 non-consecutive terms.
He's like Rutherford B. Hayes.
Yeah. Ooh. Nice name drop.
Oh no, that was Grover Cleveland.
Fuck you. Which one was Rutherford Hayes?
I think Rutherford Hayes was part of like
He got murdered.
the compromise of something or other. I can't remember my American history.
Two-
I got to do the whole Animaniacs song so I can remember the presidents.
Yep.
George Washington was the first to see. He once chopped down a cherry tree.
Stop it. We're gonna get sued for the copyright. God damn you, Warner Brothers.
Dude, I wish I had the balls to just like go on TikTok and put a trumpet up my ass and pretend to play when the Saints go marching in.
Do you like this, teenagers? You're making
It's
people
so
rich.
much better than doing a podcast.
Kids are making people rich on TikTok. It's pretty crazy.
You and I apparently could kill on TikTok. I don't know why we don't.
Oh, I don't know because I refuse. I refuse.
I guess I refuse to.
YouTube is going to start deleting people's videos too. I think pretty soon.
We're probably in line for the great bandwidth cleansing.
There's going to be a big cleansing of anything that like hasn't gotten a certain like if you're sitting there with a video that like hasn't seen any action in a certain amount of time, you are going to get it just poof pulled. So if you were using it as a store to like have old videos of like it's Gam's birthday, YouTube will never take this down. You might want to get those videos back before they're lost forever.
Yep.
You know, get some storage space.
That would be very demoralizing if the Skimbo Lounge YouTube channel suddenly disappeared.
Yeah.
It's demoralizing enough that nobody watches
uses
on
it?
there.
No.
And I put a lot of work into the artwork, and it
I like
just
the
amounts
artwork.
to a fucking hill of piss.
Yep. Yeah, no, that must be pretty demoralizing for you. Yeah.
The Jodi Arias one got
Zero
likes.
Well, I tried to advertise to get us more listens through our link tree on Instagram. Nobody did it.
Of
We got
course.
a lot of eyes come through, and not a single one of them clicked through to where the ad was supposed to push them. Not a one.
To be fair, I'm not.
I only spent
super
$15, so I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, and I don't like watch a lot of strangers' shit either. It's got to have something very compelling, like watch this woman eat her own foot, and I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, I've got 5.5 minutes.
Well, that's what we need to do. Is we need to pick this on this episode. Watch Rory and Alex shove butter up their ass. It's perfect.
We're just sobbing horribly.
You guys really talked about butter up the ass a lot. It's really weird.
Bad boys of butter are back.
I guess everyone knows what I'm into now. One day we're hanging out with some girl and she's just gonna pull out a big stick of butter. It was a bit. It was a
Please,
bit.
please, please, crush my balls instead. Please, the ball hog bit was way better.
That was the real one. Jonathan Frakes' voice. Jonathan Frakes' voice.
She's just clubbing your nuts with a stick of frozen butter. Not this time. We made it up. I love your podcast.
Yeah. Oh, great. And then she stabs me 42 times just to bring it all around.
I'll be watching you from heaven,
Yep.
where I assume I'll be going for my mental health advocacy in doing this podcast.
Great. I feel bad for anybody who really who feels bad about the things we say, but you can't really help other people's feelings.
It's the comedy show. If it's not funny, it's not funny.
Well, yeah, and it's like I can't do anything about your offense. You know what I mean? Like only you can. And you know, especially if you're not even listening, though. Like someone passes it to you, it's like this Rush Limbaugh said something mean about these people. Oh, well, what am I going to do with my not viewership that I already don't give him?
Yeah. I'd be curious. I really do want to hear. It would be awesome if the people who do listen and listen consistently would come out of the woodwork.
Oh, sure.
Because I talked to some people.
If anybody wants to debate us on this show, we will have the first. It's called our bit called "You're Fucking Wrong."
Yes.
And we would love to debate you on anything you want to talk about.
And the rules are going to be really hard for me and Rory because when you're not speaking, you have to chomp down on a belt and resist the urge to speak. Because if you do speak, you fucking burned with a hot iron.
You get to drink from the fire hose. Yeah, but so I'd love to debate. It doesn't have to be something that we've talked about or something we know anything about. You're like, I just want to like debate the ramifications of the Council of Trent, and I'll be like, nah, you're not coming on.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Come back when it's the Edict of Worms.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I
If you want to be on the Skimbo Lounge, write us an email at the email we haven't checked in months.
Oh fuck yeah, maybe people have been writing. Oops.
Oops, I crapped my pants.
I don't know, man. I just open invitation to people that want to come on here and like, we'll give you no quarter and we expect none back.
Yeah, no. Come on here and let the blood fly. Don't let actual blood fly. The Skimbo Lounge does not approve of any bloodletting.
I think that's as good a place as any to call this one a day.
Yeah. Again, it's really hard to follow the episode where you write a letter to a literal murderer, but I think we did okay.
I think we did an admirable. Fuck. I
think
fucked it up.
yeah, you did. We were doing great right up until then. But
Oh,
it's
man.
like we came with some serious hot fire on this one because we had to. You gotta.
I'm glad the wheels fell off literally right at the end.
Whew.
when I just stopped
they-
learning how to talk.
They were totally on this whole episode right up until that point.
smooth sailing. Everything jumped the synapse perfectly.
Everything else was right. Actually, this whole episode has been a script we've been reading this entire time. All of this was planned.
That's a real quick thing at the end here. My dad does not understand. He's like, I don't understand how you can do a podcast without like preparation and research. I'm like, you don't know what kind of show this is, do you?
Like, have you ever done improv, sir?
It's called a riff.
Yep. What is a long form called? Like a Jeffrey or some weird? Like, what are they?
The Herald.
The Herald.
Didn't we
Why do
talk about this last
We
episode?
did, yeah. I always forget the Herald.
Yep. It's the long form Del Close.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck.
Uh-oh, we let him in on the formula.
Uh-huh.
We call this, this isn't a Herald. This is a Jeffrey, which is our own version of it.
Jeffrey is the drug in Get Him to the Greek. Mm-hmm. That's what you're thinking.
You got to stroke the furry wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think it's gone, but then it comes back. Yeah, everyone else getting those great Get Him to the Greek quotes.
I've seen about a third of that movie and never in chronological order.
Yeah. They got the
Couldn't
guy
get
who
me
ran
interested.
the transporters from Star Trek in it.
Really?
Yeah. From the Next Generation. He's the
O'Brien?
he's the father.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's Russell Brand's father.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's great.
I saw the part with Rose Byrne where she's like on heroin or something. She's like, I just want to masturbate and you can suck on my boobs.
Yes.
It's like a literal line in that.
Yeah, something like that.
Isn't it? She's
It's like
like,
she's dating Lars Ulrich.
yeah, I'm knackered. Suck on my tits or something. I was just like, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Is that going to happen?
She's delightful.
And then they move on. And you see Jonah Hill's tits.
You do.
Hey,
Delightful.
power to a fellow fucking fat piece of shit who turned his life around.
Yep.
I haven't gotten to the turn my life around part yet, but I'll get there.
That's what we say, but will we?
No.
No. All right.
Okay, that's it. You got anything you want to plug?
Check. No.
No? Positive? There's music playing outside. You don't want to talk about that?
Not this time.
We made it up. All right. So until next time. Oh, no, that was a fire truck. That wasn't music. Oh, well, I guess I'm
That's
the
a
asshole.
weird
People are in trouble.
thing to enjoy. Music to my ears, says Koch, the noted murderer writer.
Things are getting a little weird for me here, you know? Until next time, thank you. Go fuck yourselves and goodbye.